Girls of Reddit, how do you know when a guy is genuinely good and not just trying to get into your pants? When he does nice things then doesn't make a big deal out of it because he's doing it for the sake of being a good person, rather than hoping to get something extra out of it. Like if someone gives you a lift home and doesn't mention it ever again except to reject monetary payment. Nice guys TM will give a lift home and then not let you out of the fecking car afterwards, saying wow that was a really nice thing I did for you. What are you going to do for me? I used to think that I was kind of obligated to have sex with my boyfriends when they wanted it just because that was what you did in order to be a good girlfriend. A few of my exes expected sex so I just complied, even if I wasn't feeling well or was tired or whatever. One day I was really sick and my current boyfriend was helping me out. I told him that I felt really bad but I just didn't think I could have sex that night. He looked me dead in the eye and said I don't need to have sex with you to love you. I learned a lesson that night about what a good man is. My boyfriend is awesome at non-sexual affectionate touch. I appreciate it so much. He was from the start. Forehead kisses, side hugs, hand holding with no need for a reciprocal BJ. I remember the first time I kissed my now husband, who was clearly very interested in a relationship with me for a few months beforehand. I asked him what it was he liked about me, and he gave me the most thoughtful, detailed answer with real examples of a time I did something he found sweet or beautiful. I couldn't help but kiss him after that. He's still the best person I know. If he remembers little details about you, like your dog's name or your sister's job, i.e., he actually pays attention when you talk. If he remembers the answer you gave when he asked what's up by following up with oh how did insert thing you did here go. If he makes an effort to talk to you instead of just bugging you to hang out with him. If he doesn't constantly try to steer conversations towards flirting sexual comments. If he's perfectly fine with you not being able to hang out if stuff comes up. Those are some of the things I look for, but then again I've been fooled before. Trust your gut too. Your sister's name is Rover, and your dog works for the Red Cross. Nailed it. Respects your boundaries. It wasn't until my current BF that I realized my feelings of feeling weirded out by all the guys before him was justified. They always pushed when I expressed hesitation or discomfort. I told my BF I wasn't ready and he didn't make a move again for another 2 months until I was ready and initiated it myself. I knew my husband was a keeper. He had been my friend first, but we lost contact because he had a crazy girlfriend. When we reconnected she was officially his ex-girlfriend, but I had an emotionally abusive fiance. He talked me out of it. He helped me get the courage to leave, and then he waited for me to heal. I gave him no time frame. I told him that I needed to be single before I made another commitment because he deserved to have all of me and be more than a rebound. Neither of us saw other people. We talked every day. I told him he didn't have to wait, but he insisted. When we saw each other again for the first time, he was an OTR truck driver. It clicked. We were meant to be. He switched to regional driver, I went back to college, and now we're building our lives. 7 years together. 4 married. Hubs and I waited a few weeks to have sex into our dating relationship, and he said come over, sleep with me, but no funny business. I just want to sleep with you. So before we were intimate we just slept together. Knew he was a keeper after that. Even though I felt the boners as I was sleeping, he would discreetly tuck them into his waistband and go back to cuddling me. Easy, they treat you the same when the passion starts to decline and you are no longer tearing off each other's clothes. I know that makes my relationship sound bad but long-term relationships go through these phases, when both parties are tired, stressed, etc. If your man stands by you then he's a keeper. Short term I suppose just wait until you know them before you sleep with them. That's not something I have been good at though. I suppose just don't get emotionally invested in something that has not been properly defined. When my BF and I first got together, we were still teenagers. I got really drunk at a party and my friend bailed on me. I didn't have ride or a place to sleep that night. He took me to his house, brought me glasses of water and snacks, and didn't make a move on me all night even when I slept in his bed in my underwear. We've been together for 4 years now. The first time my boyfriend and I hung out we drank a bit too much and I ended up staying the night. He offered to stay on the couch but I told him he could sleep in his bed with me. He never tried making a move. We just cuddled all night. He was truly a gentleman and I couldn't have asked for a better man in my life. Nice guys are nice to you. Nice guys are nice to people they don't want to get anything out of. I also have a theory that nice guys, in the you should have sex with me, I'm a nice guy sense, don't realize that being nice is the bare minimum, and thus you have to bring something else to the table. Be funny, be smart, be interesting, heck, be attractive. I'd be lying if I said there wasn't some appeal in aesthetics, but don't claim nice like that's an achievement. You're supposed to be nice. Bragging about it is a sign that you don't understand that, and it's a pretty good indication that it's not genuine. You can never know, and I'm not a girl, but my so says that she could tell with me because I was the same around her as I was my friends and her friends. I was respectful to her family, and I had a good career. Even then there was skepticism at the start, but I just kept hanging out with her and then we just had sex one day. It was a good day. And I had a good career. I know a lot of scumbags with good careers. TBH, I don't think that's ever a safe metric. When my boyfriend and I officially started dating, we had sex that night and I ended up sleeping over. Before a single piece of clothing left my body, he made eye contact with me and said, "If at any point you feel uncomfortable, tell me to stop." I tell you what, that was the biggest goddamn turn on of my life. Been together about a year and a half and live together now. That reminds me of my BF and I, when he asked me on 3 different occasions if I wanted to have sex. First it was no, and we kept kissing. Then it was yes but no because I wanna take my time and it's late. Then it was like dang yes let's do this. Aren't our boys amazing? When they build a nest out of gra and decorate it with blue plastic, eggshells, stones or whatever flashy thing they can find. Oh wait, that's bowerbirds. Dang, I wish the human mating ritual was as straightforward. Lem smash. How much he makes effort for contact that doesn't revolve meeting, i.e. texting about my day, sending some funny article, etc. As another guy said, I used to do this stuff all the time but most girls just get annoyed. After the 4th or 5th female friend in a row to get annoyed with it I just stopped unless they do it too. Less is more sometimes. It's really hard to initially tell. Usually I play it safe and don't really bring up anything sexual for a while. And if they're the type to really want sex and nothing else, usually they'll start making every conversation about it and almost insisting something happen soon. The ones you stick with are the ones that respect your boundaries and stay friends with you for you, not just your body. I think there is an aspect to this that a lot of women don't seem to understand about guys. It's not as black and white as trying to get into your pants versus not trying to get into your pants. If a guy is single and heterosexual and you are at least moderately good looking to him, odds are he would be very happy if you suddenly wanted to have no strings attached sex with him. That doesn't mean him showing interest in you wanting to talk to you is him actively trying to get into your pants even if he finds you attractive. Does that make sense? I have loads of female friends that I find attractive, who I like spending time with and talking to as human beings like any other who I've never actively tried to hit. But if any of them suddenly felt like having sex with me, I'd totally be game. Are y'all out here just treating your hookups like fleshlights with names you can't remember? Jesus. Just because I only want sex from someone, that's no excuse to be a crappy conversationalist or treat them like a cumrag. Watch his behavior. A genuinely good guy will, invest his time in you. Even if he's been busy, he'll reach out to see how your day was, because he cares. Want to learn things about you. It won't be superficial facts. He wants to know about who you are, your hopes, family, the things most important to you. Support you. He will want to know your hopes, dreams, and ambitions. For example, you need to study and there's a party he wants you to go to with him. If you tell him your studies are more important, he won't pressure you or guilt trip you for not going. Show you off. He will want to go on dates, post pictures with you, tell his friends' family about you. He doesn't want to confine you only to his apartment or bedroom. Engages in meaningful conversation. He will try to connect on more than just a physical level. It will be intellectual and emotional. A lot can also be said from a guy's language. Listen for the way he speaks. Does he say you're beautiful or puts you down? You should do more squats. Only talk sexually about your looks. Watch his eyes. There's a difference between a loving look and a lustful look. Keep in mind that everyone has flaws, and nobody is perfect. To expect anyone to complete a checklist on a daily basis is excessive. We are human. Mistakes happen. But with a genuinely good man, it won't be an everyday occurrence. He will care and always strive to improve. These are just a few differences that I've noticed about the players and the man who treats me like a princess. Hope it helps you. Best of luck. You'll meet your Prince Charming. A better question would be about what is good for you given what you want. If you want something simple and sexual, finding a guy who really just wants the same thing is a good fit. A guy who wants a long-term relationship may be a bad fit. Whatever it is that either of you want has nothing to do with whether you are genuinely good or not. I suppose you could look for some general character things, like genuinely good could be about having shared values. For example, transparency, consent, and integrity. As a man, I'd look for those things to get to my good, genuine potential partner, and then see if we both want the same kind of interaction. With my current boyfriend, I knew it was when he invited me to meet his best friend. His best friend is old enough to be his dad, but they trust each other so much. They help each other with racing, and are very close. Another sign was when he would tell me what people would say at work. His co-workers would joke about me, or ask about me, so that meant they knew about me, and he talked about me. That's a huge sign. You know a guy is genuinely good if he has a large anime collection that ranges from figures, manga, DVD sets, if he has a katana, wears a dashing fedora, has a well-kept and well-moisturized neckbeard by Mountain Dew, Doritos and grease, weighs at least 300 pounds, lives in his mom's basement at 37. Honestly, these type of guys are so much more genuine than a typical Chad trying to get laid. Attendees. Reputation. Is he known in the friend circle for being a player? Stage in life. Does he talk about settling down with someone? Does he associate that someone with you? Personality. How does he behave around his close friends? What do they talk about? Does he keep his promises? Previous relationships. Does he have previous long-term relationships? Did he have stages of one-night stands? Cheating history. Did he ever cheat before? How does he respond to your needs wants? If you are allergic to some food, does he avoid bring that food near you? If you are sick, is he by your side? If you want to see him more often, does he make an effort to compromise? It's generally easiest to tell through how they treat people differently, but seeing them learn about your relationship status is obviously a shortcut if it's available to you. It's always a bummer when you're having a great time with a group of people and a guy you were hitting it off with, platonically in your view, learns you're in a relationship and immediately starts to ignore you. It always really makes me sad. Not that it happens a ton. I'm not a smockish or anything. It's like, oh, I guess I'm just not as funny and interesting as I thought I was. That person didn't actually enjoy our conversation. He was just working on a potential lead. It really brings you low as a woman to see that guy continue to enthusiastically socialize with the other guys in attendance after he's stopped talking to you upon discovering your unavailability. If he makes an effort to learn things about me, that is things not related to sex, and respects my choices, interests, and passions, it's very rare. Typically this is when you're already dating them. If they want sex but you're not in the mood, take note of their reaction as well as their mood for the next 10-15 minutes. 2 of my exes would get annoyed, or would sulk, and continue to try and find a way to get you to agree. They weren't good guys. If he has crippling trust issues, he already doesn't expect anything from you. He doesn't expect anything from anyone anymore. I've found a really good checklist to be: 1. Is he trying to elicit a specific behavior or response from me? Or is he being sincere? 2. Is he focused on how this situation affects him, or how it affects me, the people around him? Example: I've had both good guys and nice guys tell me they had feelings for me. The nice guys said, I just don't understand why you won't go out with me. Like, What else could I do? You're the perfect girl for me. You don't know how hard it is to see the perfect person for you and not be able to have them. The good guy said, since we're friends, I think I owe it to you to be totally honest and tell you that I've started developing feelings for you. You don't have to reciprocate or say anything right now. I just wanted to be upfront so things don't get weird later. I agree with the other posts, but to add something less conventional that might not apply to all guys. I find that when a guy is really interested, then they sometimes act nervous or hesitate a little. Makes it less likely that they're the trying to get in someone's pants kind of guy and genuinely likes you and doesn't want to frick up. I met my boyfriend online. When he first introduced me to his best friend, his bestie told me he was literally googling my name to check I was who I said I was and making sure I was good enough for him. I figured if someone cared enough to do that for their friend, it's because they know their friend is a decent person. Plus literally everyone in our friendship group online would say we were both the two nicest people in the community. Basically, if a guy is consistently mentioned as a really sweet guy by all kinds of people, it's probably well deserved. Guy here. Everyone is an a-hole about something. Grammar Nazi. Goes on and on about the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars. Obnoxious around sports. Obnoxious around politics. Snobbish about beer. Crossfitter. Gamer. etc. Most of us learn to be civil about our ashlery. We learn to manage it and recognize that it's kind of unacceptable. We apologize for it, but we don't hide it. If you can't find a guy's butthole, metaphorically, stay with me. He's definitely not a nice guy. So much this. I've always held the opinion that all girls are crazy and all guys are buttholes. If the guy doesn't know what kind of crazy the girl is, or the girl doesn't know what kind of butthole the guy is, the relationship is a ticking time bomb. If you are feeling blue, and he offers company and humor and comfort food or space and time instead of his dong, he is past the I just want sex phase. I think it's always a phase. Might end in a relationship or staying the frick away, but it passes. I once met a girl at an outlet mall and we got to talking for a while and eventually it got late and dark. I'm kind of a shy guy so I hesitated a bit, but I asked if she needed a ride to her car. It was dark and a big parking lot, so even though I was interested in her, I also felt obligated to make sure she was safe. She actually said no because she wasn't that far and I just followed up with if it was okay for me to at least walk her to her car and she said yes. We got to her car and I asked for her number and she shyly smiled and was like and I got the hint right away and said I get it. It's cool. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great night. Smiled and turned to walk away. I get a few steps and I hear her open her door, but then she goes wait. I stop and turn and joke nope. Too late. She laughs and I walk over and we exchange numbers. We dated for 6 months and sometime during that all she told me that how chill I was about being rejected made her instantly like me. And not in a pity way. She just realized I wasn't going to treat her like crap if she turned me down. I want to have sex with maybe one boy out of 200. I know him when I see him. The average boy will talk to me, joke around, discuss issues and provide a novel viewpoint. The ones who want in pants will act very interested, want to hang out even though they do not agree with or find value in my viewpoints, and generally don't talk about anything interesting despite never shutting up and always wanting to talk more. I know if I'm not getting anything out of the conversation, they aren't either. There's no intimacy in the discourse, just interacting with a pretty girl. If we are having good conversation, and they do want in my pants, they either keep it to themselves and we continue to enjoy a working relationship, or they stop talking to me, plain and simple. Asking you out just the dates including alcohol, Netflix etc. Texting you only about random stuff and shows no interest at all about your daily life. Trick question. Guys are always trying to get into a girl's pants. Ask my wife of 20 years. I may have settled down with her and had 2 beautiful children who do well in school and socially. We spend every other Christmas at her parents' house and I do an annual guys trip with her 2 brothers, but she still hasn't figured out that it's all my long game ploy to have sex with her and it works about every other month. Haha, fooled you. Guy here. My girl was so skeptical of me, but I eventually won her over because 1. I didn't lie or hide who I was. 2. Generally told her all my intentions and interest in her. 3. Never changed who I am to others versus her. Needless to say, even though we boned, I still acted as if she was the most important person in the world but gave her the space she needed. Nice guys never actually win because they only think. Action wins the girls over. Through genuine action and interaction. This is what my wife says. Action is sexy. When we started out, she told me that she'd be bad for me, that I didn't really want her, that she'd mess me up. I told her I was a big boy and that I could make my own decisions. Thank you very much. And that I wanted her. We've been together for 25 years. When he takes the time to really talk to get to know your family. Guys that just want to hang and bang don't care about your backstory and your actual life like that. I am not a girl, but I think this applies to basically anybody when you catch them doing a nice thing and they don't realize anybody saw it. When he shared his dorkiest, weirdest, uncoolest interests and ideas with me, and when he asked me to share mine. You don't make yourself vulnerable like that unless you're trying to build a real connection. As a guy, I've had 2 different one-night stands turn into multi-year LTRs. Just because a guy is trying to get into your pants doesn't mean he isn't also good, and vice versa. Can we have genuinely good intentions that we care about you but want to get into your pants at the same time? Can't we have the best of both worlds, damn it? Hence the just in the title. That can be a tough one because even if the guy is genuinely good and values a relationship over sex, sometimes paranoia can get in the way and make you think they're just a really good actor. One guy I know has been genuine and sweet, and insists that he doesn't expect anything, that he just likes to spend time together. And it's probably true, but there's always some part of me that will doubt it. That's my problem, not his. Anywho, I think my short answer is, it's hard to tell. You just gotta hope they mean it. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.